So imagine you make a statement saying you don't want politics within your anime, manga, or games. That's what Jelly did right here. And basically, after saying this statement, the company that she works for straight up called her a racist and a bigot and bred hatred because she doesn't want politics in Minecraft. We got a lot to cover today. I haven't seen a company implode this much in a very long time. This is a guide to how to run your company into the ground in 24 hours 101. Because this drama, which should have been a nothing burger, has escalated to such a point that now it's reaching massive content creators like Asmongold. He dropped a literal nuke yesterday evening, and there's just no going back for this company. This company, I'm going to be honest with you, might as well be dead at this point. It's basically spiraling down the drain, because any goodwill that this company has is now basically non-existent on both sides of the conversation because of what they did back-to-back yesterday and very early this morning. Now, I know a lot of you might be confused if you don't follow Asmongold or follow VTubers in general, and so let me kind of get you up to speed on why I'm even talking about this in the first place. I've talked about some VTuber drama in the past and how companies handle certain VTubers, like Niji Sanji is a very good example. I talked about that last year, and this one is kind of somewhat of a similar case, but it is definitely... it's crazy. Like, this entire conversation piece has really escalated to where I can't escape it. I'm seeing everybody talk about it. I'm seeing my entire feed on YouTube talking about it. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to weigh in and do my personal takeaway on this entire situation. So first off, where did this begin? Well, this all began with a silly little tweet from a VTuber called Jelly, saying, "Screw it, man. I think pushing politics in my children's sandbox game is disgusting, especially when it's disguised as education. Let me play my stupid block game without having to engage or associate with any of your stupid political garbage that I literally do not care about." This post was made on February 3rd, 2026, as you can see. And this post was, quote, retweeting this post from the official Minecraft account on X. This is the official Minecraft account talking about adding in politics to Minecraft with a DLC. And this is obviously an optional DLC. You don't have to buy it and support it. But the point is people had a problem with this. People did not like that Minecraft was adding in real-world politics and stuff into the game, a silly block game about creating and building. People did not like this whatsoever, and they thought, like, keep politics out of my games. And so what Jelly had to say, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm on Jelly's side here. I don't think politics have any place within Minecraft, and I think that it's kind of weird adding it into a game that's mostly meant for children. I'm just going to be completely blunt. So, personally, I think what Jelly had to say here was a very fair take. I'm on their side. You might say that's a little bit of bias, but regardless of the point, I'm on Jelly's side with what they had to say. However, people got extremely upset with this take from Jelly, to the point to where it got so bad that the actual company that Jelly works for, Face Connect, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video, forced Jelly to delete these said tweets. And this is what the company had to say in response to this situation. "Thank you for supporting Face Connect. Recent comments made on Twitter by one of our talents included discussions on sensitive topics. Following an internal review, these comments were taken down. We sincerely apologize for any issues caused by this incident. Face Connect's focus has been and always will be providing entertainment through different personalities and a wide range of unique content. We do not tolerate racism, hatred, or bigotry in our communities. Thank you for understanding and your continued support of Face Connect and our talents, Face Connect team." This was made in response after what Jelly said. So more or less, they called one of their talents bigoted and racist, and have hatred in their heart for not wanting politics within their silly block game. That is an insane statement from Face Connect. Obviously, people were pissed because they made Jelly delete the tweets, and then they issued this statement out. And people's reactions were pretty angry. And you even have Rev here, he makes a comment on this saying, "This statement is a colossal L that not only cames to obnoxious virtue signalers who could care less about your talents, but also creates a standard that will be used against FaZe and your talents forever. horrible decision, which is very true. Once you open the floodgates up of cancel culture and allow people to dictate what your talents can say or not say, then it opens up a can of worms to where everyone going forward in the past and future of what they say will be used against them. And I would like to reinstate, up to this very point, before this happened, FaZe more or less was a very neutral company. They were held as the based VTuber company to work for, one of the last bastions for freedom within a VTuber community for an official company. But when they made this statement and they forced Jelly to take these posts down, it more or less opened up the door now where other people are going to be canceled afterwards, and they decided to side with certain politics for their company instead of remaining neutral as they always have. And thanks to this, it exploded in the drama space. People started talking about this. Content creators that are not even in the VTuber space started talking about the situation. Asmongold eventually found out. He started talking about the situation, which then led to him commenting on a content creator that said some pretty heinous stuff 6 months ago about a certain Charlie Kirk. And he pointed this out live on his stream. You can check it out. He probably has it finally posted on his YouTube channel. But he talked about the situation, exposing the hypocrisy of FaZe Connect allowing someone to advocate for political assassination, but in turn wanting someone to remove their tweets over not wanting politics and a silly block game, aka Minecraft. And so Asmongold called this out, and within like 6 to 7 hours, we had this official statement by FaZe Connect, basically removing the content creator, the VTuber, that was asking or cheering on political assassination, which it goes by Clara. Now, I want to be honest with you, I don't know too much about Clara. I have not watched them or anything and all that. I'm going to be honest. I know about them only through what Asmongold showed and the actual proof and receipts of what they've said, but I've never personally watched them. However, the point of the matter is that it got called out, they were hypocrites, and then in turn, what Rev said here came to pass. That now, from now on, the company will have a lot of cancel culture, and they are now going with politics and stuff with the way they're doing it. So the entire situation has escalated to where the person that was advocating for political assassination got more or less removed from the company. They graduated. Now, the content creator in question did say that they were already in talks with them for a few months, and that this was finally finalized earlier this week, which I'm just going to call it out like it is. I smell bullshit. I'm going to be honest with you. It is weird to me that of all days this graduation happens, which happens, by the way, I want to showcase this. This post happened at late at night at 11:37 p.m., literally at the dead of night where people are normally sleeping. They posted this post here, and they announced that the person that was now getting called out and escalated to the point where Asmongold called them out, suddenly they're graduating. Now, is there a possibility that they were always graduating? Maybe. But it was definitely sped up. The process was sped up to such a degree to where they're now gone. And so, more or less, you have both sides now. People that they were trying to cater to, FaZe Connect trying to cater to when they removed Jelly's post, are now upset with what they did with Clara. So now you have both sides of the conversation extremely upset with how this company handled everything. And I'm just like, dude, just should have kept your mouth shut and remained neutral. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to rip off the Band-Aid here. I think Clara should be removed from the talent agency. I don't think you should be advocating for political assassination and cheering for it. That's not free speech. Keeping it real here. I know that's going to piss a lot of people off, and it gets you pissed off. I think advocating for murder is not a good thing, okay? I'm just going to say it. So, yeah. I think, makes sense this happened. But the reason why this happened is because they decided to pick a side. So FaZe Connect, I think you're done as a company. Count your days, because now the audience you tried to cater to is now against you after these decisions, and so nobody likes you. It's just, it's karma, honestly, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't want to work for a company that wouldn't allow me to even just call out not wanting politics in a game. The fact that that was enough to make them basically call you a bigot and racist is actually insane. Like, legitimately insane. I would not want to work for a company that did that to me. Like, threw me under the bus to that degree. But I'll leave it at that. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.